Welcome back. Just a quick little vlog. I haven't been out on the 1300 GSA in ages. I'm currently away with work on a big stint in the UK when you're watching this. But when I come back, it'll be nearly time to take it for its next service. Hard to believe I've had it nearly a year already. Still, the best bike I've ever owned. Probably the best bike I've ever ridden, in fairness. I absolutely love it. And still one of the most beautiful bikes I've ever looked at. So there. I know I'm still in the huge minority when it comes to that. Ask me if I'm bothered. No, I'm not. Because I absolutely love it. Honestly, this bike, in all seriousness, it's an absolute dream to ride. It's a dream to own. It just excites me. Every part of this bike excites me. It's really weird when I've been on the CRF 300. I've been sort of newly fangled with that bike of late because I've only just got it. But when I come out on this, honest to God, well, it is. I mean, it's absolute luxury. But coming from a sort of single piston thumper like the CRF 300 to something like this with all the bells and whistles on, it's just incredible. I hope you can hear me alright. I'm still playing around with mic placement with this new system, the Mic2 and the Osmo 360. One camera does it all now. Well, at least until the next bit of technology comes out. You know what I'm like. That's the other thing about this bike as well. Going into corners, you forget how easy it is just to follow the line through a corner. It's like being on the 300, it really is. It's so nimble, so flickable, as they say. There's two words I think every single motor vlogger on the planet use: flickable and planted. I'd love to find alternatives, but you know, I can't. Because when the bikes are flickable and planted, they seem to be the best things to use at the time. That was a dead mink or a pine marten, little bastards. We used to have 22 chickens at home, and a pine marten wiped them all out in half an hour for fun. Doesn't even take one to eat. He just kills for fun. I don't mind the fox coming in to take one. He needs to because he's hungry. But to wipe out 22 chickens, now this was a long time ago. The kids were young and they had every bloody chicken named. You know what it's like. And the excitement back at home at the moment. I don't know if you remember, I think back early summer anyway, we rescued a crow. The magpies attacked a crow's nest outside our house in nesting season. Baby crow fell to the ground. My wife, of course, rescued it. It lived in a horse box for 2 months. We were feeding it, giving it water and whatever else, and because of the top of the back of the horse box was open, its parents were able to come and visit it and also bring it food as well, and you know, just drop in for a coffee or a cup of tea and a chat. Quite often brought the Sunday papers on a Sunday to him as well, you know what I'm saying. And so we set the bird free. Of course, we were in regular cahoots with the ISPCA and some crow sanctuary as well here in Ireland as to how best to handle the situation. So anyway, we set the crow free. Lo and behold, 2 days ago, hasn't the fully grown crow come back to live in the stables? We know it's that one because it's still got an unusually short tail, which is where the magpies attacked it. What's happening here now? Interesting. Anyway, so that's the crow update. I didn't mean to actually toot him there, and I feel like a right twat for doing so. Because I've been riding a CRF, I went for the indicator on the BMW here, and on the CRF the indicators and the horn are top to bottom. Sorry about that. Mind you, he probably deserved a toot in fairness, so maybe I don't feel too bad after all. Yes, I'm heading off on my big UK gig any day now, so I'm riding each bike just to get my last fill until I go away to get my fix. But talking of fill, I'm going to have to fill this up with petrol. I never like leaving a bike empty when I go away because of condensation and everything in an empty fuel tank. I don't know if you know about that, but it is a thing. So I always like to leave the tanks full if I'm not going to be riding the bikes for like 6 weeks or so. Okay, I'll just fill up rather than talking away to myself here at the petrol station, because I always get funny looks. So I'll just fill up and I shall be back to you in a tick. Bloody hell. €51.70 to fill up my bike. I felt like I filled up the bloody car. Hold on, I'll just put my snoot down a bit. €51.70. You can tell I've been riding a CRF for a while. The CRF's like a tenner to fill up from empty. Hey ho, the joys of owning a motorbike with a 30-litre tank. Maybe I didn't need to fill it up after all. Still beautifully balanced, this bike, you know, even with a full tank. Didn't even put the feet on the ground there. Jeez, the power. I think we'll, that's obviously somebody who follows the channel, because I haven't got a clue who it is. That's happening more and more now. It's funny, isn't it, that familiarity from people who recognise you, but I don't recognise them. He looked like a thoroughly nice chap. It was a lovely smile he gave me there, but can't even say I've seen the Land Rover he's driving. Now we all know, oh no, not to get me on to Land Rovers. But anyway, that was a lovely smile from that gentleman. If you're watching this video, please let me know who you are. Because the last video I made, actually it was on a camera test. Oh Jesus, one of the early camera tests. The brakes on this are incredible. I totally misjudged that. I was thinking about which video it was. Yeah, one of the early camera tests with this new Osmo system. I was out on the back roads, well, pretty much where I am at the moment, and I passed a couple of bikers, and it's unusual to see bikers on these roads. There's not too many bikers would live around here, you know. And anyway, I put the video out that night. It was one of the technical videos which I was releasing midweek, and yeah, one of the bikers who was in that group of three watched the video that night. He said, yeah, that was me on the BMW, the 1300 GS. He says, I thought it was you. He said there wouldn't be too many 1300 GSAs around these parts, and he was right. But yeah, the Land Rover, my Land Rover, the Discovery, I sold it, thank God. I had it all fixed up. I had the engine done up. I had everything. I mean, it was as good as new when I sold it. I was just delighted to see it gone. You know, when you've been cut so many times you just can't take any more, whether it be from a person or a car. That car was the most unreliable car I've ever owned in my whole driving history. So much so, even when I bought the van there recently, I kept the Land Rover thinking, you know, we'll keep it around the house and it'll be handy for towing the horse box and motorbike trailers and whatever else. And every time I looked at it out the kitchen window, it just gave me this feeling like a knot in my stomach, because it has caused me so much anxiety over the years. And for some weird reason, I mean, it broke down an awful lot, but it definitely, every time I went to England to do Come Dine With Me, it seemed to break down. And the anxiety that caused me whilst I was over there on a job trying to keep the show on the road, to have to deal with a broken down car and to hire cars and getting the AA out and then getting the Discovery towed back to Ireland on a ferry, it was just too much. I couldn't take any more. So yeah, it's gone, thankfully. So in 2 days' time, when I depart to go to the UK, I'm probably well and truly through my stint over there, like I say, when you are watching this video. But I'm really, it's put a different outlook in my head heading over there. I normally think, oh my god, the anxiety, the stress of what's ahead of me. As much as I enjoy the gig, it's marred by the car, and I didn't know that. Like, seriously, that's what it had come to. Is it going to break down this time? And I'm really looking forward to going over there this time in the van. So anyway, I'll leave that little episode behind us well and truly now. I really don't want to talk about Land Rover anymore, so much so that I had even nicknamed the CRF the 300 my mini Land Rover, and I've stopped calling it that. I just don't want to refer to it as a Land Rover. Great roads these. I am very conscious that I've recently ACF 50'd this bike. I don't know if you've seen the video, maybe it hasn't gone out yet. I did make a video about it, and I'm just very conscious that I might have, by accident, not negligence, just by stupidity, I might have got a little bit on the brake discs. I've done my best to clean it off, but that's one of the reasons I wanted to come out for a spin today, just in case I'd forgotten that by the time I get home. So I just wanted to check everything was going to be okay. There's another milk tank here. TMF has a problem with the white vans where he lives. I have a problem with tractors and milk tankers, of which there are an abundance. I think it's one of the biggest employers around here, the local creamery. So at any time of the day, you'll be stuck behind a milk tanker somewhere on this road. It's particularly awkward when you're rushing home to use the loo in a car. But when you're on a bike like this, see, that's one thing you can't do on a CRF. I wouldn't have challenged that on the CRF, but when you're on a bike like this, which is an absolute rocket, and of course you can. One thing I will say, back to the camera for a moment, as much as I think this setup is fantastic, I'm really enjoying it, it has added quite a bit more time to my editing, because you have to output everything twice just to get two angles. So whilst you might be thinking you're cutting corners with efficiency, you know, because one camera is doing it all, you still have to, if you want two angles out of it, you might as well have two cameras. So I don't know if it'll stay long term. Maybe you would let me know in the comments at this stage actually what you think of the camera angles, because obviously I've got rid of the camera on my chin, so when I look left and right, the camera doesn't look left and right. It's very much like a hothead camera is what they call them in the world of TV. It's very much a fixed position, even though you can choose any angle you like from this camera in the software, the editing software afterwards. It's mounted in the one spot, and I just didn't like the idea of mounting it behind the windscreen, so that looking forward shot like this would be the only shot you see looking forward through the windscreen. I quite like the idea of having that, just a hint of the windscreen in the shot, and then sometimes a hint of the CarPlay system, which is amazing, by the way. This is definitely a keeper. This is the Aouchi, in case you're wondering. I have made videos about this. I'm sick to death of making videos about them, but then Aouchi contacted me and said, any chance you'd just do one more review? I said, go on, I'll do one more, because I really like the idea of the size, and of course it was a video full of double entendres, because I spoke about 7 inches. Is it too big? Within that separate video, just have a look through the library. This is the creamery here I was talking about. But I have to say, because I'm one of these riders, I really don't like the voice prompts from Google Maps when I'm using it. I much prefer listening to an audiobook or a podcast or music, or nothing at all. Most of the time, actually, nothing at all. So I really like looking at the map on here, the Google Maps, when I'm not navigating, like now, because I know where I'm at. Even this display, the dashboard if you like, is really clear. Rev counter on the outside of that dial with my speed in the middle. I've got my tyre pressures in the middle of this dial, and in here I've got a lean angle indicator. I don't know why I would need that on a bike like this. I don't. I'm hardly going to be leaning over, then take a look at that to wonder if I'm leaning over too far. So that's pretty much an update anyway, folks. I'm coming back into my local town now. I always love a little spin out on this, and like I say, I just wanted to get a bit of oil and to get the juices flowing through this bike again before I head off. Okay, yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts actually on these new camera angles. Now, albeit this is going to be a fairly quick edit, this one, as I'm strapped for time, so I will only be using the two angles. On a normal vlog, and when normal service resumes when I get back, I shall be doing all of the angles out the side of the bike, the front of the bike, and you know, everything else that I normally do in the vlog, and I can get all of that from this one camera, albeit I'll have to move it and put it on a selfie stick. But just that whole idea of coming out with one camera really delights me. Although saying that, if I was going to be going away on a tour or a trip, I'd still take 2 or 3 cameras just in case, to be sure, as they say here in Ireland. Right, I am going to round this vlog off. Thanks a million for being here. Ride safe, everybody. Have a great week. Dave Perry, Really Good TV. It's a wrap.